What is the difference between automatic and manual shipments? Well, first let's take a look at our order tracker. So from SoStocked, if you go to the orders page, the default display is the order tracker dashboard, which is this. This shows you the current status of every order that you have inside of SoStocked, whether it's a purchase order or whether it's a work order, meaning a transfer from a warehouse. Now, if we click into one of these purchase orders, for example, we can see that the default setting is card will change order status automatically. And what that means is it's always based on the lead time. So in this case, our lead time is 50 days. As you can see, from the day that we place this purchase order to the day that it arrives at Amazon. Let's click into the purchase order and look at that lead time in more detail. So there's a 15 days of production, ocean freight for 25 days, 5 days on the ground, and then direct to FBA. This is a very simple lead time for this demonstration. When we go back to our order tracker, what you will see is that this purchase order will follow along that lead time, and then it will end at FBA check-in like these work orders over here. So this purchase order will eventually show up here at the end of its lead time, and it even gives you an estimated time of arrival. Now occasionally a seller wants to manually change this so it's not automatically moving through the order tracker based on the arbitrary lead time. This is set up for you. This is a convenience setting, and the default is automatic, as I mentioned before. But if you change this to manual mode, what happens is this drop-down menu appears. You can use this drop-down menu to manually change the status of the shipment from each of its individual statuses, right? So I could change it to ground freight today, and then I could click save, and let's look what happens. So now we notice that the same shipment shows that it's in ground freight status, and it now has a lock on the little title card here. That lock means that it's locked in place, and we have to click this lock to edit and change it to its next location. If I click FBA check-in and then save, it will change and move from where it was over into FBA. Now, of course, it says waiting to reconcile because there's no actual FBA shipments attached to this. This is just a purchase order that we've put into SoStocked. So it's going to stay here until FBA actually checks in this inventory and scans those barcodes at the FBA fulfillment centers. If we change it back to automatic, we see that it came back here and it's back in ocean freight mode and it's locked. I cannot change it. Now the reason this exists is because some sellers don't want this to automatically move through the order tracker. They want to get a message from their supplier or a message from their warehouse before it moves and then come in here and manually change it. So it's really just a point of personal preference.